So how do you think things are going? Back to team building and our team.
I think it's going great. And
What's the biggest challenge that you deal with?
But I think the last 2 weeks, not so much. I think we're getting better. I think we go through phases where we're very in sync and we're both excited and we're both happy and we're both hopeful and we have the same vision. And then we go through phases where you've got a vision that I do not have or I'm not focused on, and we're not as in sync as far as us. I think individually our client base is great and working with our clients is great. But I think what lacks the most often is us being in sync sometimes.
Is that important?
Yeah, it's important. We're a partnership. Shake and bake, baby.
I think that's the, we've had a couple of people mention that, what's the story on how do you get along? How do you start growing the business together? Your father-daughter team, you've got dynamics, family dynamics that you try to keep separate from your business dynamics. And we definitely have, I tend to be more of the blank page person. So
which is phenomenal because I feel like 0.1% of people are a blank page person.
And then Morgan is really good at, I think we need to up our game here and we need to up our game there. And we both do that a little bit, but she's a little bit more sensory driven, and she's definitely the client facing, much better at client facing activities than I am.
I'm just obsessed with human beings. So I love clients.
Right. So, and I usually think of things like a chain and which link's weakest and which one's going to break first. How do we beef up that link so that, because the client in the end is the load that we carry, we want them to be happy. And there are a lot of links in that chain. And if one of them breaks, then their hopes and desires and their financial well-being can all fall.
Right.
I don't think most real estate agents think about it that way. I just think they think about trying to get to a close and get paid. But there really is a long chain of things that have to happen to make sure that your client's happy.
I mean, that's very true. You use that analogy a lot, and it's very accurate. It puts so much pressure on each link to me that I try not to think about it too much, because then perfectionism will get in my way. But I also, and yes to all of that. And the way that you were describing working together, I think our differences can accidentally sometimes make us competitive instead of collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I'm having this idea, I'm seeing this vision. Why aren't you? Or I'm working on this. I'm doing this really well. Like proving that it becomes a competition subconsciously without meaning to every once in a while. And then when we are doing really well is when we recognize that and go, oh no, that's so silly. We're on a team. We're collaborative. Like fantastic that you see this thing I don't. Help me see it. Fantastic that you do this thing I don't. Let's do this together. Like it's that.
Knock yourself out.
Knock yourself out. Yeah.
We had that conversation this morning. I'm like, I don't exactly get what's going on here, but great.
That's
Make it happen. I don't have to know.
I don't have to know and understand everything because we're a partnership. So I feel like when you're in a leadership position, you feel like you need to understand everything that's going on, but it will slow it down. But since we're partners, it's like, I trust you. So if you understand what's going on, you just do it and I'll follow. That was kind of how we were when we first hired an assistant. I was like, I don't think we should do this. It costs too much money. Why would we do this? And then I just followed your lead. And now our assistant is amazing, amazing. And
she's awesome.
I mean, mind blowing. And I was like, I'm really glad that you just did it. And I never told you not to do it, but but
you were pretty blunt, which I like. Is a good thing about our dynamic. Like, I don't get why we're spending money on this. Where's this going?
Yeah, not dismissive, but yeah.
Yeah, it was just, I'm not seeing what you're seeing. But you were also very good about, I trust you. If you think this is a good idea, I said, I do.
Yes, but also don't expect me to be enthusiastic about it yet because I can't get my head around it, and I don't like to pretend. Right. Although during these videos, sometimes I do like a maniac smile when I'm trying to have fun, I guess. I don't know. So yes, that's my assessment of us. I think we're really, really good when we're in a collaborative, creative, yes and mindset, and we're really bad when we're in a competitive proving to each other something, or letting our egos get in the way. Like, I need to understand everything, or I want you to see that I'm smart and great, or whatever the thing is.
Yeah, or I'm working really hard and you're not noticing that at all.
Yeah. Is that
Yeah,
when
we
you
both
feel
do
with
that.
me? Do you
No,
feel
not
like
necessarily.
okay.
I think it's when we get off on our own. We're hustling, but we're not communicating with the other one.
Yeah.
So it's just, and we don't see each other all the time. There's sometimes we'll go for a few days and not actually see each other.
Yes.
And you're busy doing stuff, or I'm busy doing stuff, and it's easy to assume that the other person, since you're not seeing them do anything, that they're not doing anything, when really they are. And there may be a pile of stuff that I'm not paying attention to, or you're not paying attention to,
Always.
that's kind of waiting for our mutual attention, that we're each thinking, well, he's not paying attention, or she's not paying attention.
Yeah. And how does that even help? I mean, even if somebody
doesn't.
was slacking off, that doesn't help the team. And if we're committed to being together, then if something like that does happen, it seems
Don't you think that's an easy trap to get in, that martyred?
So easy.
I'm the only one that's working. The rest of the world's got it easy. I'm the only one suffering here.
It's so crazy how I feel like every human, their knee-jerk reaction is to feel like the victim, because it feels weirdly, it's disempowering, but it feels in the short term empowering. It's like, well, it's not my fault.
Well, and people tend to be compassionate toward that, or some people, especially if it's if it's somebody that they're I don't want to get this into a political thing, but frankly, Donald Trump he plays the victim card a lot. You're unfair. This is unfair. You are very unkind. You've not treated me the way I should have been treated. And there is a group of people that are like, yeah, that's right. You weren't treated fairly. You weren't.
Yeah.
Whatever. There's a group, of course, that don't feel that way. We'll find out in what, like 12 days. How many people feel that way? But that's the way it works, and there are a lot of people that way. I think you and I are trying to drive our team toward
taking responsibility.
Yeah, being personally responsible. And even if you don't, like, if I think you're not doing anything and I don't say anything about it, I should be responsible for the fact that I thought I saw a problem and I didn't say anything, or or vice versa. When you're saying, we had a conversation this morning, Morgan was talking about, hey, I think we could really up the ante in this. This is not professional enough. We need to, we've done a good job so far, but I feel like we've kind of plateaued and this is not continuing to get better.
Right, we gotta
and I said, I don't see it. I'm not seeing it as clearly as you do. You just need to go.
You kept saying, you know what you want.
But yeah, but I don't know how that got into that from being victims, but you just need to be honest and
taking responsibility. If you see something lacking, it's not going, oh no, this sucks. Oh, you suck. It's okay. I see that this could be better.
Here's where we're at. Where do we want to go? And I think that's, I've used the analogy of looking at a mountain from two different points. You're standing at this point to the mountain. I'm standing at this point to the mountain. Our views are slightly different.
Yeah.
But we're both focused on the top of the mountain. And as we continue on that journey, we get closer together and we get further up the mountain. And the more we continue that journey, the better. And we saw when we were with Elliman. Elliman's, I really love that speaker that I know.
Is that right?
I can't remember. She climbed Mount Everest, but it was interesting to learn that climbing Mount Everest is a multiple trip journey. Bless you. I couldn't hear you. I think you're muted. There you go.
Okay, good. You didn't hear me.
No, we just watched. So, but her point on the mountain is that you have to acclimate. So they go up so far, and then they come back down to a base camp, and they go up a little further, and then they come back down to the base camp, and then they go up so much further, and they come back down.
It was like all the way, and then go all the way back, and then all the way, and then 25% back, and then all the way, and then that's your new base camp. It was like that.
Yeah, it was amazing to learn that mountain climbing. I always thought it was you climb up so far and you kind of camp out and wait a little bit, and then you go up so far and you camp out and wait a little, then you make this run. She's like, oh no, you go up and come back a ways, and you go up and then come back a ways, and so you ratchet your way up the hill or up the mountain until you get there. And even then, most people can't do it, but still, I think that's business. I think for all of us, we all should have our eyes on the goal, especially if we're in partnerships or if we have teams. I'm hoping that our team is growing, that we do that. Where are we all at? We're all trying to climb the same mountain. And when you're talking about a style guide for our marketing, that's I see the next spot we need to go to. Let's all put our eyes in that spot and let's climb the mountain to that place together. So
right.
I think that's the goal. We're just not really good at it sometimes. It's so easy to get in your own little world and get down. And plus,
I think
so much not to like about watching anything on TV or reading anything in the news right now.
Yeah. I was going to say pursuit of excellence can have the trap of staring at the distance between where you are and where you want to be. And instead of being excited about that journey, like, I just love how hard this is to climb, then it's
yeah. And those
overwhelming.
Think about it. There's people that actually climb Everest for the sake of climbing it, which is, they just want to live. They're living. They know it's hard and they love the challenge. And they're like, even the really sucky part, they can say, this really sucks, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. I'm just like, when you get on the Peloton, and I still struggle with that. It's like, why am I doing this to myself? This is terrible. But you get on there and you feel great. You're like, oh, that was a really hard workout. That's awesome.
It was hard. Yeah, I like it. Honestly.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess I've talked too long. So
no, I just noticed that we've crossed our boundary by a few minutes now.
That's okay. Everybody can shut us off. So
yes, you can. You can shut us off.
We try to package our personal stuff more toward the end of it, and it's hard to know how to mix those up. So feedback's always welcome.
Feedback is always welcome. Let us know your thoughts on anything we spoke about today. Like, follow, subscribe, friend.
Yeah, if you will, please do like us. Click the like button, even if you see us in a couple different places. Subscribe and hit the notification button, and that helps us a lot. It's really great to see a lot of our content increasing in views all the time, and we'd really love to get the content that everybody wants to see. So just let us know.
Amen.